chew the fat and give our gut reactions on all things pop culture, film, TV and theatre. We talk to legends in the creative industry and those on the rise. We game old school. We support independent creatives. Got a project? Tell us about it. Get in touch. We do all of this, and a whole lot more. Like, subscribe, get involved. Join Lance Steen Anthony Nielsen and the Outcasts Creative.
Did you kill my daughter? Go and have the time of your life.
Bye, Donal. See ya.
Hello? Are you sure? Are you completely sure? On M103, 270 people killed. Threat warnings were ignored. We have a right to know.
This is restricted. Where did you get it?
I just want answers, Minister.
You haven't stopped since she died.
I will never stop. Up until we know the answer to everything.
Suspects have been identified.
2 Libyan nationals.
Libya? I thought Iran did it.
You've gone through the whole case over and over. It's a lie.
This is how you cope.
I am not coping.
Gaddafi murders people.
Jim, tread carefully. You don't know who keeps anyone dead.
You have 2 other children. I want to be around life, not death every day.
Why is there so much secrecy around this? Your government knew. They all knew. I want to know who killed my daughter.
Well, if you're thinking that drama looks good, you'd be right. It is, and we'll be getting into it in some detail on the Nielsen ratings this evening. In fact, it's going to be our main topic of conversation. Welcome to 2025, the first Nielsen ratings of the year. One of potentially 48 that we'll be doing this year. As you can hear, I am a little bit under the weather, which is why I will be off camera. Fortunately, I've got good-looking people like Blue Collar Loser who are prepared to be on camera.
I did shave, so.
Yeah, I've had a shave.
Yeah, my hair too.
Excellent. Good to see you. Happy New Year.
Yeah.
How you doing? How was Christmas? How was New Year?
Working, but I tell people I can't complain because when I see my paycheck, when you're getting paid double time and a half, like I'm catching up slowly on bills, land. So it's like it sucks, but then again, I like seeing my debt going down per week. So
right, okay. Well, that's always good.
Yeah.
Second, from beyond the wall, my other regular team member, Northern English Bastard.
Hello, you beautiful bastards, and how are you all doing on this happy new year?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. How's things?
Yeah, I'm alright, just getting some more reviews down and just downsizing at the moment, getting rid of all the crap I don't use anymore.
Did you watch the new Wallace and Gromit movie? Because you're wearing like a cap, I think that's like mandatory.
I have not got around to watching it yet. I need to watch that, and I might even revisit the A Matter of Life and Death if I do.
Well, it's funny because, it's a bit of a British institution. I can't believe that I haven't watched it yet either, but this Christmas, I just couldn't be asked. But never mind. Anyway, I've been having a series of complaints saying everybody on your show is far too old and a bit too ugly. Can we have some younger, better-looking people in? So, Box Office Brawler.
That's funny. That's not cool. Don't do that to yourself, man.
In order to tick that box, when we get
I'm always the diversity hire. That's me.
Yeah, that's right. You're a diversity hire. Absolutely. You tick the ginger thing as well, so it's all good.
That's good to hear. I'm hearing great things about Wallace and Gromit. I can't believe they're still making them. It's really, it's great. It's great to hear.
Yeah, they make them once in a blue moon. Once in a blue moon. They're not like regular, but you got like 3 half-hour comedy made-for-TV movies,
and it's got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes too, I think.
Yeah, and then they made about 3 or 4 feature films, and then they've done another Christmas special, which is this one. So, yeah, they're great. I mean, they're the equivalent, the Britain's answer to Pixar, I would say. But they are worth watching. I haven't seen the new one, but maybe because animated sheep are right up his alley, Lord of Toxicity has.
Hello everyone.
Hello. How are you?
I'm bummed, man. I'm really bummed because we were snowed in for 2 days, and I was hoping to spend that time with your book and get a review out because I know I could have finished it. And Amazon just decided to kind of, back down and not give me, not drop off my book shipment that I asked for. So I'm a little bummed, man.
Have you still not got it yet?
No, and what's worse is it's coming in tomorrow, and I'm going to do the tomorrow's the KU game, Kansas University place I do security for, and I'm going to be there at the game all day. So it's going to arrive at my office when I'm not here. Then I'm not going to be able to get it until the evening, and that's supposing even I come back to my office. So I'm really bummed because I had 2 days where I did nothing, and I would have loved to have just sat and read your book.
We have a cultural phrase for this kind of story in the UK. It's called "And the dog ate my homework."
That's not cool.
No,
how far along are you in my book, by the way?
Mate, I haven't got your book yet. Touche. No, listen, joking aside, I greatly appreciate the support and the order, and I look forward to an entertaining.
No, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. I've seen nothing but good reviews on it. I promise that I will be a fair reviewer, but I'm willing to bet it's going to be a great table read. And when I'm finished with it, my girlfriend's asked if she can look at it, and I said, of course you can.
Yeah, for a fee.
Nah, so, I feel like she's earned it.
Very good. Okay. Well, again, thank you for supporting it, and I do look forward to an entertaining video on that very topic.
Yes, sir.
All right. So first up, we are going to talk about Lockerbie, Search for the Truth, the first of 2 drama documentaries that are going to be released this year on that subject. It dropped on New Year's Day. I had seen it all by the 2nd of January. In fact, it was what got me through my bedraggled, horrible flu state. Starring Colin Firth, 5 45-minute episodes. It also stars Catherine McCormack and a number of other quite well-known character actors, including my friend Robert Cavanaugh. So, for anybody who doesn't know, Pan Am Flight 103 on the 21st of December 1988 exploded over Lockerbie in Scotland just as it was turning west to set course for the United States, which resulted in the death of 270 people. The explosion was caused by an explosive device that was located in a suitcase. That suitcase was probably put on at Heathrow because the explosive device would have exploded around 38 minutes after the plane took off. And then there's a lot of conjecture over who ordered that hit and why and who was ultimately responsible. And initially, all the evidence pointed towards Iran and with some Palestinian involvement. And then that soon changed to Libya and Gaddafi. And there's a lot of back and forth about all of that. There's an incredibly quite emotional website to the testament of all those who died on that day. That's like the Lockerbie Memorial Project online, something like that. Incredibly well put together website, and you can access a story about every single person pretty much. And I found myself reading through it after watching this series. Now, an interesting story here, which I'll tell you quickly, which goes back to my previous book, 1988. So My novel 1988 mentions the Lockerbie bombing, and that was also the year that I went to the States. And when I was out in the summer of 1988, I was working on a summer camp, and there were students from all over. But the summer camp that we were working on, Camp Northwood, was in the hills of upstate New York, not that far from the two towns of Syracuse and Utica. So a number of students that were also working as counselors on the camp alongside me were students of Syracuse University. And one girl who was from England called Julie, who I became friends with, she became friends with a number of the students from Syracuse University. This is actually the back of my book. And Julie is actually in this photograph. On the bottom right photograph, she is the girl furthest left with the blonde hair with her hands in her pockets, if you can see that. So I think there was about 34 students from Syracuse University on Pan Am Flight 103. And Julie, I believe, knew about 6 of them personally. And I think a couple of them worked at our camp that year, but they were not, there was a huge number of counselors. There was about 150 of them. So I can't put my hand up and say I was friends with these girls, but friends of mine were friends of theirs. So, and I didn't find out that about this connection between Camp Northwood and Syracuse University and some of the people that died on the flight until a few years ago, when I reconnected with some of the other people that were on that, that were at that summer camp. So Lockerbie does get mentioned in the book, as does that story. So I was very, very interested to see this series because I knew it had been a long campaign to get the truth. It was a long campaign for justice. There was a number of really big, high-profile disasters that happened that year. We had the King's Cross fire. We had an oil rig that exploded, Piper Alpha, where nearly 200 people were killed. And then not that long after that, you had Hillsborough. You also had the Marchioness disaster, which I did the play about. Lockerbie was one of the few that didn't get a public inquiry. And there was always this massive resistance to get a public inquiry. And you have to ask yourself why that was. And I think when you watch this show, it gives you some of those answers. Catherine McCormick, who people will remember from Braveheart, is also in the show. She plays First Wife, and I have to say, this is by far her best performance in absolutely anything I've ever seen her in. Yeah, so it covers a lot. It truncates a lot of the story, obviously, but it is extremely well done. And if it doesn't get an emotional response out of you, I'd be extremely surprised. Anyway, I urged as many of my panel to watch it as possible. I'll hold off on giving my rating on it now. Northern Bastard, I know you watched the whole thing, so I'll start with you. Give me your thoughts. Don't give me your rating yet. We'll do that at the end.
It is very gripping and it is very tragic to watch because you just watch this guy trying to get as many answers as he can, and he's just coming up with nothing. All he's coming up with is theories. This was involved. This was a big cover up because there was deals going on with these government agents, and it's just all he wants to do is just get some closure with the people behind what happened to his daughter, and it's looking like he probably still hasn't even to this day.
Yeah, the truth wasn't exactly very fast in forthcoming. Do you want to say anything else about any other aspects of the show?
Yeah, Colin Firth really does very well as usual. I mean, he's just one of these actors who never fails to put in a good performance, even though he's kind of still playing it Colin Firth-like. But I do agree with Catherine McCormick. I mean, I almost forgot it was there because it's been a long time since I watched Braveheart, and yeah, she's looking good for her age.
Well, they aged her up a bit because this show is set over.
I know, it's like 30 years now, isn't it?
30 years, so
Jesus.
they have to age all of the characters.
I know.
But yeah, it's yeah, it is. You know, they do a really good job with the makeup department. We'll talk about the production team in a minute. Baller, our new guest. Welcome to Nielsen Ratings. I know we've had you on the channel once before. You managed to cram this in. What are your thoughts?
Oh yeah, I actually watched the whole thing yesterday, and it was a great 5 hours. It was a really good 5 hours. I was very impressed. You know, going in, I didn't know what to think. I love dramas. I love Chernobyl, Oppenheimer. I got those kind of vibes from this. Definitely Chernobyl. If you like Chernobyl, I think you'll fall in love with this story. And really, I mean, it's a sad story, and I was unfamiliar with the tale of Lockerbie. I went in completely blind. I didn't know where this was going. And I think the highlight of it was, of course, just Colin Firth and seeing his dedication. I mean, it was so, I hate this word, but it was empowering. It was empowering to see how far a man's grit can take him. Because I also didn't expect that this story would go on so long. And I don't want to spoil anything, but it didn't go in the direction I thought at all. And I was also, I was really surprised by the complete change in narrative, sort of 75-60% of the way through the story. And that caught my attention. I'm like, whoa, I didn't see this coming. And I really enjoyed this series. I'm excited to hear everybody's thoughts.
Because they, at one point, you get the kind of scene where he breaks down all the evidence that's been presented and is going to be presented in court. And it seems like it's a slam dunk. You know, these guys from Libya did it, probably on Gaddafi's orders. But it's amazing how all of that evidence, piece by piece, completely unravels. And most of it is not tenable. It's not stuff that would stand up in a court of law under scrutiny, really, today.
Can I add one more thing, Lance?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think something I appreciated was, I think his character, gosh, I'm blanking on I every time I saw him, I just thought Colin Firth, so I can't really remember the character's name. But he, I think his character and what
Jim
he went
Swire.
through, Jim Swire, that's right, Jim Swire. I mean, he had a massive weight on his shoulders here, and the weight of responsibility was unbearable. And you could as the episodes progressed, you could just see that weight starting to wear him down more and more. And his optimism and his passion seemed to be exhausted time and time again. And it makes sense because it was such a long stretch of time. But I felt truly like in the zone. I felt like I was in his shoes. I don't exactly know how they captured that so well, but I found myself completely lost in the story. I didn't know where I was anymore. I was in Colin Firth's shoes, and it was good to enter a new world where I was completely in the blind about.
Yeah, no, it is a really emotive, heartbreaking story. Blue, did you get to watch it at all?
No, I'll try this week, Lance. You know, again, like just between work and other stuff, it's not enough hours in a day.
You better not watch 5 superhero movies in this time.
No, I'll tell you the other stuff I'll watch this week.
The living memorial for the Lockerbie website that I talked about. It's I'm going to put the address in the chat right now. It's a really quite powerful website with timelines, all kinds of additional information, and I spent some considerable time on this site as a result of watching this show, which I would like to think is what the relatives of those who, you know, well, we'll call them the victims because they were victims of a terrorist attack. I would think that that's the kind of result that they would want, is, you know, people to read more about the story, read more about their loved ones. And if you click on this section marked people here, and, you know, real people like you and me, this so easily could have been me on this flight. This so easily could have been, you know, who's to say that I wouldn't have befriended one of those students at Syracuse University because I was there in the summer of '88. And, you know, if they'd invited me over for Christmas, would I have hesitated to go? Fuck no. Of course I would have gone. You know, oh yeah, Mum and Dad, I'm spending Christmas in the United States this year. That would be cool, wouldn't it? Of course I would have gone. So when I read through the stories of all of them, yeah, it really was, it really hit me. And I really thought, wow, you know, it's pretty powerful. And you can go through, there's a mosaic of every single person. I was struggling to find it now, but there's one page where it's like a tile of every single person. It's that one. And it's got a picture of all of them. And you click on every picture and it tells you a story about that person. And that there are so many couples that like met and they were traveling back together to spend their first Christmas in the States, stuff like that, you know. Several families traveling with newborn babies. I mean, just and then of course you've got the people that were killed on the ground. 6 people in one family killed on the ground. So it's it's an incredible drama. It's the sort of thing that I want streaming services to be making, because these are very important stories. And at the end of the day, the reason that this attack happened was because of political bollocks. You know, so, and of course, who are the people that suffer always? The innocent people. That's always. Not the crazy men in the rooms who order these attacks. But there's a really great scene where Jim Swire meets up with a CIA intelligence officer, and he just spells it out to him. He just says, "We knew exactly who was responsible for this very, very early on. It was this group and this group working with Iran." And you know, but anyway, watch it, make up your own mind. Okay, so those people who've seen it, ratings out of 10, please. Brawler, you're the guest, so you can go first.
I'd say, for me, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. I really felt swept into the story, and I feel like I learned a lot about the story as well, and about this tragedy. I think it was so well fleshed out, and it was understandable too. I don't think it was too complicated. It challenges you as a viewer to actually, you know, pay attention and to keep in mind these things that you see early on. You can't really, you have to focus when you're watching this show, or else you might get a little lost. But the recaps definitely help with keeping you up to beat. I felt like there were a few times when maybe it just dragged on a little bit. And if you're not into sort of courtroom dramas, or just, you know, stories based, actionless based stories, quick, specifically just drama based stories, then you'll be into this if you're into the drama sphere. Otherwise, you might not be as excited as guys that are.
Yeah, no, well, that's fair comment. Okay, Northern.
Yeah, I give it a good 9 out of 10. You know, I mean, there's always going to be some little embellishes with the truth, you know, just to add dramaticism to it. But it's still really well done. You care about the characters, and it never really felt disrespectful either. I mean, it didn't feel like it was trying to exploit the whole story, in my opinion.
Right. Well, we've got another one coming soon. It's a co-production between BBC and Netflix, and they started filming in May. It's a 6-part drama. BBC and Netflix have announced casting for Lockerbie, the forthcoming factual drama made by World Productions, 6-part series based on the real events, etc., etc., etc. Lockerbie will focus on the investigation into the crash on both sides of the Atlantic. So sounds like this is going to be told more from the point of view of the actual investigators rather than the families. That would be interesting. Takes us up to the most recent indictment at the end of 2022, which is good. And so the cast includes Connor Swindells, Patrick J. Adams, Peter Mullen, who I'm a massive fan of, Merritt Weaver, Tony Curran, who's best mates with my best mate, Jason Flemyng. I'm hoping to get Tony on the channel at some point, so maybe this would be the good segue. Eddie Marsan, who I've written a script for before, Lauren Lyle, Andrew Rothney, Phyllis Logan. Oh, she's great. I've met her as well. Parker Sawyers, James Harkness, Khalid Laith, and Amanda Drew. So the lead writer is acclaimed novelist and screenwriter Jonathan Lee, with 2 episodes written by Gillian Roger Park. So, okay, same team that did the Hillsborough film about with Anne Williams, right? Yeah. Oh, it's going to be interesting.
Lance, who is your friend that was on the was in Lockerbie?
I don't have a.
Didn't you say that you didn't you say you had a friend that acted in the series?
No, I don't think it was in this one.
Okay.
No. Let me double check though. I might be wrong, mate. I know so many people.
Lance knows everybody.
But I mean, like knowing someone and calling them a friend in the film industry are 2 different things. You have associates, you have friends, and you have close friends.
Well said.
So, no, Gemma Carlton, who I want to give a shout out to, who I thought was particularly good. Oh, yes. Sorry. Yes. Robert Cavanaugh.
That's what it was.
Thank you. Just bear in mind that I'm ill and my brain is not working properly. So let's have a quick look at the cast. So Colin Firth, obviously amazing job. Catherine McCormick. You've got Sam Troughton playing the reporter Murray Guthrie, who's a main character in the show. He is the son of Patrick Troughton, the 2nd Doctor Who. So, yeah, you've got a few Doctor Who's sons in the business, like, you know, Sean Pertwee, John Pertwee's son. Robert Cavanaugh played Alistair Campbell in the show. So, yeah, he's. I met him at stage production of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, in which my friend Wil Johnson was playing the lion. And you know, we had a really good conversation there. I think he'll be coming on at some point. So, but I didn't know he was in this. It was all very, very hush hush. Probably because they knew that there was another production in the works as well. So they got theirs out first, which was a good result. Robin Lang, who played Roland Stevenson, he played Babe Heffron in Band of Brothers. You probably wouldn't even recognize him in this. So a couple of shout outs to some of the younger actors. I thought Gemma Carlton, who played the sister, Kathy Swire, was particularly good. And I also thought the actor who played the terrorist, he was fantastic. Really, really difficult role. And I can't see him here. Just trying to think of the name of the character now. But yeah, you know, there was no scenes where I felt the acting wasn't working for the show. So
it was insane. Like just seeing the range that they had, even just from their younger versions of themselves to their older versions too. And I mean, it just looked flawless. They looked so much older by the end of the series. I almost didn't recognize them.
Yeah, let's see who was in charge of the makeup, because I do like to. Ashley Rowe was the photographer on it. I'll tell you what else was good. The crash. Oh my God, that was so well done, because you had to be quite mindful of the fact that relatives of Lockerbie victims were going to be watching this show, no doubt. And one of I used to live next door to a policeman. And of course, you know, policemen talk to each other at the policeman's ball and things like that. And I'll never forget overhearing a conversation he was having with a colleague about, you know, bodies being... There was one body that was skewered on a tree in the street because it had fallen out of the plane. And, you know, you had like legs hanging off of rooftops and 2 people together, 2 seats together on the top of a roof of a house and stuff like this. Imagine finding that, you know, the PTSD that you'd have to deal with. There was one kid remember the kid who waves to his family in his house, walks down the street to go and do something, and the crash happened. That's a true story. That kid lost his whole family in that one incident. Yeah, just one of those things, man. Just incredible. So, looking at the, let's see, we can get to makeup here. Serious special. Yeah, the visual effects I thought were very good. You know, you could that stuff with like when you had that section of the plane and the fireball, and of course also the devastation of the town, which I'm sure was all done with CGI, but didn't look like CGI. It looked really good. I'm not seeing the section for makeup here. Maybe I must have scrolled past it. Costume and wardrobe, stunts, sound, art department. It's normally coupled with this, but I'm not seeing it. Not seeing. Well, whoever did the makeup. Oh, here we go. Series makeup. Sorry. Okay, yeah. Marta Kowalczak. I think that's Polish. Rebecca Louise Steele and Sajan Gillings. Well, what can I say? You all did a brilliant job. Art direction, really good. Costume, all of that. Fantastic stuff. So the senior art director was Richard Downs. Let's just have a quick look and see what else he's done. Night Sleeper, Vigil. Yeah, I watched that the other day. I wasn't a massive fan of it. 30 episodes of Fresh Meat. That's a great show. The Lost Honor of Christopher Jeffries. That was a really good true story 2-hour drama, which I think is on YouTube. About a guy who became the wrong focus in a police investigation, and then he was rubbish in the media. They destroyed his whole career. So, yeah, there we go. So, production elements of the show, well worth watching. All right, so Lockerbie, that's a resounding yes, you should watch it from our panel. Let's move on. The Golden Globes happened this week. So, and there were some shows that we were rooting for. If you watched the Nielsen ratings or you watched our breakdown of Shogun, we were both, I know me and Blue especially, were saying, oh, you know, we really want Shogun to win.
Yeah.
We really want the actors from Shogun to win. But let's go through the weird categories that they have with the Golden Globes. Let's have a look. Here's the list of winners. Kieran Culkin there with an award. He is a good actor, actually. Very good actor. So, best film, musical or comedy, Emilia Perez won that. I haven't seen it. So, has anyone seen it?
Never heard of it.
Isn't it quite weird that you would have best film, musical or comedy? So, how would you judge a film like The Substance against a movie like Wicked? Is this? I suppose this category is kind of like overall because they've got the genre categories below, but it just seems odd to me. I mean,
yeah, there should be separate categories. These, I mean, come on, you can't lump The Substance in with Wicked or Challengers.
I mean, that doesn't make sense to me.
You know.
Also, the fact that Challengers is even in there.
That's a terrible film.
Yeah,
what the hell?
terrible film.
Even if you liked Challengers, you can't say it was a groundbreaking,
right.
Even movie like you know, what was the one that Meryl Streep and Dustin Hoffman did that focused on the divorce and he's
Kramer versus Kramer.
Kramer versus Kramer. Simple story about the problems with divorce. My favorite scene in that movie, I'll never forget it. Everyone says when the kid learns to ride the bike. No, my favorite scene is when he insists on getting that meeting at the Christmas party because he knows if he doesn't have a job, he won't get custody. He won't get shared custody of his son. So he literally drags the manager out who's got to make the decision into his office and says, look at my copy, you know, and they like, we'll get back to you over the holidays. And he knows that's going to be too late. And he says, no, I've shown you the work. You know, I can do the job. This is a one-time offer. I'm prepared to take a reduction in the salary. And he takes a risk and they're like, yeah, go on then. I fucking love that scene. And he gets the job. You know, I just like, I've seen Challengers. It's like, there's not a scene like that I went, oh yeah, such a good scene. You know, the acting's good, but I mean, it's just.
Is it? Is the acting good?
It's good. It's good. They do well with the script. I'm not saying I liked the script, but I mean, should it be on that list? No fucking way. No way.
The only thing that Challenger should have won was some sort of the Razzie. I don't even know if they still do that, but that's the only thing Challenger should have won.
Yeah, and Zendaya gets the West Actress Razzie.
Has anyone seen Amelia Perez though? Has anyone seen the film? No, we'll move on then.
I know they always do that. They always have the winner be something that we've never heard of, and then it comes out and there's like, wait, what? You're giving awards for something that no one's seen yet?
Do you guys ever like actually go in to watch a new movie based off of like the film winning some sort of award?
I used to.
Really?
I definitely used to. I used to work at a movie theater. I used to follow Siskel and Ebert, and then later Ebert and Roper, and I used to follow the Oscars and the Emmys and even the Golden Globes.
I mean, it was definitely something that happened in awards season at our cinema back in the 80s and up to probably the mid 90s.
Late 90s,
films would get re-released because they won Best Movie.
They would come back in the theater. Right, Lance knows that. He used to work at a theater too.
To see it. Yeah,
right.
So
if a movie like Good Will Hunting, for example, is a great example. It made the rounds in '97, and then didn't do very well, but then won a lot of awards, or at least was nominated for, won a few, and so they re-released it because based on the fact of all the awards that it did, and so I took the fam and we went and saw it. It's one of my favorite films now. So yeah, they used to be a thing.
Well, word got out to the girls that Matt Damon had a crying sequence in it, so then everyone was like, "Okay, we got to see it."
Actually, the word got out that Matt Damon bears striking resemblance to a young Lord Toxic, and that's what really got the masses in the
makes
seats.
sense.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that's understandable. It must have increased the box office take by $11.
I do it.
So, okay, best film drama, The Brutalist won that. That's the new film with oh my god, my brain today.
Okay.
Adrian Brody.
Yes.
About a Jewish family fleeing Europe, trying to build their life in the United States. I haven't seen it. Has anyone seen it?
No.
Is it kind of like a little sequel to The Pianist? Because he kind of plays a very similar part there, doesn't he?
So, Northern, have you seen it?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, look, if we haven't seen it, we won't waste time discussing it. But it
Makes
got
sense.
two categories. It got best drama and it got Adrian Brody an award. So, I'm a bit disappointed that Pamela Anderson didn't win the last Showgirl. I haven't seen it, but I'd love her to win.
Have you guys seen Sing Sing? I saw it listed above.
No.
Ooh, you'd like that, Lance. It's about a playwright. It's wow, a fascinating tale.
It's about a playwright having a mental breakdown and getting a divorce, I probably wouldn't like it. But
I don't. No, it's not really like that. This is.
I don't always mind films like that. I mean, it's kind of like Wonder Boys, where you got this prolific writer, but he's got this mental block and he's smoking weed a lot and he's kind of burnt out. It's I don't kind of like stories like that when they're done well.
Yeah.
Sing Sing.
It's about an acting drama program in prison.
I know
in
about
prison.
This. I've seen the trailer for this. Yeah.
This guy. Go ahead, brother. You go ahead.
It turns out that most of the cast were actual inmates in
Sing
Sing,
right.
which was like I couldn't believe it. They did a great job. I never would have guessed that. And
there's a lot of talent in the prison system.
Oh, absolutely. It was nice.
I could have done a really rude joke then, but
I thought that was genuine.
This guy here, Lance. This guy, Lance, he is going to be the next big thing. He is very, very talented. He keeps popping up. I've just watched my girlfriend had me watch a Netflix miniseries that he was in. I'm not knowing the name. I'll have to Google the name of it. But it was excellent. I'd love to see him do more stuff. He's from Fear the Walking Dead, and he's been in a few other things.
That's what I was going to say. I think that's the first thing I saw him in was probably Fear the Walking Dead. He's been a jobbing actor for a while, isn't he?
Yeah.
Doing the rounds.
That's how I was introduced to him. I loved him in Fear the Walking Dead. He was.
If
awesome.
you guys have Netflix or access to Netflix adjacent, I'm going to give you the name of a great show. But let me not. I don't want to slow things down. Go ahead.
No, tell us that you can tell us the name of the show.
The show's called. It was called The Madness.
Yes, thank you, Blue. Thank you, Blue Collar. Yeah, The Madness, really good, really topical. Just he's electric in it. He's a reporter for and they don't change the names of things. They don't make like a fake CNN. They just say he works for CNN. And he's this reporter that is also like an activist, and he gets embroiled in this murder conspiracy near his own home, and kind of gets framed for this things in this conspiracy. And at the outset, you're just like, it doesn't allow you. You have to kind of go through the mystery with him. It doesn't allow you to kind of figure. And I was very hesitant at first. I was like, I don't want to watch this, but I force my shows on the girlfriend, so she, tit for tat, she puts this on for me, and it was great from start to finish, and very unexpected.
I want to see this. Is it based on a true story?
It's based loosely on some true events. You have to kind of, it's sort of like I said, they don't, they gave them carte blanche to use real, they really talk about CNN. They really talk about the Aryan Brotherhood. They really, the celebrities, all the stuff that goes on, Epstein Island, things like that. So, yeah.
For anyone who's not sure what he looks like, there's the inside man on set, just in this still. We'll move on.
Looks young as ever.
I know, man.
Good
job. That's that moisturizing cream.
Oh, that does do it. Yeah.
So this is so The Madness is available on Netflix. Now.
Yep.
What would you give it out of 10?
I'd give it a solid 9 out of 10, and I'm giving it a high rating just because I didn't think much of it at first. But this guy, Blue, what's this guy's name, please?
Coleman Domingo.
Okay. Domingo is just electric from start to finish. He really carries this. I'm a big Walter Mosley fan who, if people don't read, that's the guy who did Devil in a Blue Dress, but he did a novel called Killing Johnny Fry. But he also did, he has the Devil in a Blue Dress Easy Rawlings series. If they were to ever redo Easy Rawlings series, I think he would be perfect for that.
Michael Sarah in the chat, Sing Sing, isn't it a sequel to Sing? Very very entertaining comment there.
Oh, play on words, Gord King as well.
Let me just say hello to a few other regulars in the chat. We've got Alan Charman,
Aaron,
with this Lord Toxic guy. I'm not sure who he is. Eraserhead, thank you for popping up the links to my book there. Very much appreciated. Keith E, of course, is here. Wormy Spoons is here. So nice to see you. I saw a comment from Aegis. Yes, just ordered my book. Thank you so much. The Proctor File, one of my favorite named people. Drew Gordon. This is all various stuff. PLO with Iran seems to be the conclusion. I would agree, certainly from all the evidence I've been able to find out. And I didn't just take the series as verbatim. I did my own digging. Jamalama, good to see you, mate. So, nice to see people in the chat. Happy New Year, Gord, mate. Good, really good to see you about. So, okay, well, we went down a little bit of a rabbit hole there, but that's absolutely fine. Let's jump back onto the Golden Globes. Here we are. All right. So, okay, right. So, best male actor. We haven't seen Adrian Brody and whatever. Best female actor in a film drama. Okay. Well, I mean, this is funny because in a film drama, I mean, would you not argue that? I know she won an award. We'll come on to it in a minute. But wouldn't you not argue that The Substance is a film drama?
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not listed here, which is odd.
I thought it was a comedy. I just thought it was a very, very dark comedy.
I mean, it is, in some ways, you could argue it is a dark comedy.
It's weird. But, I've only seen one of those out of that list, too, which is weird.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff here I haven't seen. Clearly, these films have been screened for the rich and industry people.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm quite curious to see this movie with Pamela Anderson.
Me too.
It feels like it was written for her. I mean, by that I mean she's perfect to play this, an aging Vegas showgirl who's coming to the realization that her career is probably over, which I think is the premise of this piece. This sounds perfect for her. Yeah.
Oh, yikes.
And you know what? I think I think she looks good with no makeup on. I really do.
Seen worse.
I'm sure some people won't agree, but you know what? There's a natural look to people that don't wear makeup, and there's a lot to be said for it. But I think this will be a really interesting film. So, you know, it could be like the Studio, not Studio 54. It could be like the Boogie Nights movie, but instead of about porn stars in LA in the 70s, this is about showgirls in Las Vegas now.
I've heard it compared to The Wrestler.
Yeah, well, yeah, that sounds good. I want to see it. So, my minions, fly my monkeys. Tell me where I can watch this. Movie. Okay. All right.
It's a very rare thing as well, where you get someone who isn't well known for their acting skills, like Arnie and Jean-Claude Van Damme. They're there just to be the kick-ass muscle-bound guys, but occasionally you get someone who's just doing their thing, but then gets given some gold here to work with. And looks like I found it with that, the way Arnie did with Maggie and Van Damme did with JCVD.
Don't forget as well, if you're a soap actor, because, you know, let's not kid ourselves. Baywatch is basically an action soap.
For sure.
You know, soap actors are required to do a certain style of acting, which is, you know, often very truncated expositional scripts where everything has to be slightly bigger and over the top than you would, you know, probably want to do. And if you work on a show like that for 7 or 8 seasons, that's 7 or 8 years of your life doing that acting style, changing gears from that onto then a different film, you know, takes some skill, and it's not easy for everybody. So anyway, did anyone see I'm Still Here? Because Fernanda Torres got best female actor. No?
I don't even know what that is. Me and Blue did see Baby Girl and we reviewed it though.
Yeah.
So this is the best television series drama right now. I am interested. It's great. Shogun won. Looking at what's on offer, totally agree with that decision. Definitely the best. I am interested in who else has been nominated and why. Slow Horses totally deserves the nomination. Squid Game totally deserves the nomination.
Yep.
Day of the Jackal, I have to say, once I got to the end of it, even though it was a little bit wokey here and there, overall I thought it was good. Is it? If it had won Best TV Drama, I would have been very surprised. But overall, I thought it was good. Did anyone else get to the end of Day of the Jackal apart from me?
No.
Anyone?
I took a look at your recommendation because we were going to talk about it that one day, but after a couple episodes, I'm sorry, Lance. It was really too woke. Sorry.
The earlier episodes are the weaker ones, I will agree. Especially like episode 3. But okay, well, spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen Day of the Jackal. I'm going to get into what was so great about it. Was, you know, you're coming into the last episode, and I'm sure they probably filmed it a couple of different ways. And I remember saying out loud as I was watching, my God, if this annoying woman is the lead in season 2, no one's going to watch this. And then literally within a minute of me saying that, she was shot and killed in the head.
Nice. Nice.
I
want to watch it.
I was like, result. Okay. Yeah. They took some risks. Okay. Now I like this show, you know, because that actually was, they built up that expectation for you that's where they were going. And then they completely smashed that. That was good. So, as Gord has pointed out, the good news is if you haven't seen it, it's still there. Yeah. Thanks for that. Very good, Gord. Okay. So, The Diplomat, I've seen the first ep. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I just wasn't interested in that.
Oh, Lance, that's a great show, man.
Yeah, actually, I've heard some good things.
No, it's really good. We're a few episodes in, showing the girlfriend it now. She likes it as well. I was shocked as how good it was. I need to do a review on this thing and give it some love because it's really underrated, and everybody just assumed it was going to be another retread. A couple years ago, they did True Lies. It was
that was terrible. That was terrible.
And this looks like they're trying to be funny. And no, it's a really good show. I really push anybody to go take a look at it. It's on Amazon, and from start to finish, it's really entertaining. And the two leads have excellent chemistry.
Okay. Well, I will definitely check it out. One episode is directed by the girl who did I May Destroy You, and I'm really keen to see that one.
Oh, okay.
I think she either directed it or she's in it, or both.
Okay.
So yeah, that will be interesting. Okay. Yeah. So then we have Best Female Actor in a Television Series Drama. Anna Sawai won for Shogun. We all said when we were watching Shogun, when we were reviewing Shogun, Blue, I know you remember this, we were all constantly going on about how superb she was.
Facts.
Yeah. I'm so glad she won. I mean, Emma Darcy, House of the Dragon. Yeah, she's pretty good in that. Kathy Bates in Matlock. Is that as in Matlock, the TV show?
Yeah.
Yes,
They made a new one, yep.
Oh, and is she Matlock?
Yes.
Yeah.
Matlock.
It's a rough watch.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I do like Kathy Bates.
Always good though. She's always a good actress.
It's not her fault. Not this
No,
time.
it's not her fault. She's getting on in years, and she's got to get a paycheck. I don't blame her. It's fine.
She lost a lot of weight. I almost didn't recognize her.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's not bad. It's a background. It's on CBS, so it's a background TV show. It's just a little jarring when you see her take witnesses and hobble them with a sledgehammer. That's creepy when she does that. But other than that,
did she tell him that she loves him as well?
Yeah, she does. She's a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, you're right. I see what you mean about she's gone through a bit of a physical change for the role.
Yeah.
They've definitely got a personal trainer. Hit the gym. Here we are. I'm just watching Jason Ritter in Parenthood at the minute. I'm going to talk about that show in a second. Yeah.
Also, this rendition of Matlock, I didn't watch very much of it. I watched it at my great aunt's house, and it's as diverse as it could possibly be. They have everybody in there.
They got
every name in the book. And
it's just about all they need is they just need like an indigenous person with like a harpoon, and then like to add in.
And then it's complete, absolutely complete once they do that.
They ticked every single box. It's CBS, man. It's CBS where everybody's in an interracial relationship and everybody's gay a little bit, and I get it.
Oh, that sounds a bit like mine and Toxic's life. I mean,
Facts.
Interracial relationships and a bit of gayness.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's on that point. Let's move on. So if we go back, okay. So congratulations on behalf of all the panel to Anna Sawai, who I follow on Insta. So glad she won.
She got anything good coming up anytime soon? I'd like to see her in something else.
Yeah, I don't know. We won't go down that rabbit hole now because I want to get through these. Hacks is not a show I'm familiar with, but this is like the best sort of 30-minute, comedy or musical. Very weird. I guess that's
weird.
so Abbott Elementary can be allowed, because doesn't have a lot. Do they break into song in that occasionally, or maybe that's a different show. Seen the Bear, very good. The Gentleman I thought was superb. Hugh Grant, his finest hour. So funny.
Wrong gentleman, Lance.
Is that the Wrong Gentleman?
Yeah, wrong one.
Are you sure? Because there's a series with him playing a character, and I'm sure it's got the same name, but it's basically
Yeah, he's not on the show though, is he? It would have been good if
he's not on the show, Lance.
Is he not?
He's in the movie, not the show, brother.
Oh, you know what? Again, my defense is that I'm ill.
Yeah,
so
that's okay.
No, everyone who watched the show, everyone liked it. It was really good.
You're right.
It's a good show.
Yeah. The show is the one with the guy dressed up as the chicken, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
That's the one starring Theo James. It was good. It was good.
Yeah, it's a good show.
I mean, you know, is it one of the best comedy shows ever? I'm not really sure it deserves to be in this category. So Hacks as a TV series, anybody seen it? Anybody know anything about it? It's on season 3 at the minute.
I thought a lot of you lot would have heard of it, or Enzo, because he's always looking for his more obscure stuff, isn't he? But
why is it a Hallmark show?
No, it's a dramedy, so drama comedy show. And it's got one of my favorite actresses in it, Jean Smart. In fact, me and
Hacks.
Cindy Pickett were talking about her.
It's got Caitlin Olsen from Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah, so the premise of the show explores a dark mentorship that forms between Deborah Vance and legendary Las Vegas comedian and entitled outcast 25-year-old. So I don't know if it's based on a true story or what. Let's have a look at a couple of the reviews here. But I absolutely love Jean Smart as an actress. She's amazing. Surprised by how much I enjoyed this. Blah, blah, blah. Don't pass up. Can't believe I'm only hearing about this on season 3. Well, that makes 2 of us. All right, so I'm going to put this on the to watch list. I'll watch some of the first eps, and I'll get back to people. So we'll check that out. Looks like the sort of thing that Blue would love to watch: ladies in sequin dresses and so forth. Yeah. So, okay, let's get back to this. Baby Reindeer won Best TV Limited Series, Anthology Series, or Television Film. That's so broad. Almost anything could be on there. Do we think Baby Reindeer should have won over Penguin?
No.
No way, man. No way. Come on.
I mean, what I would say is that those are 2 completely different.
Yeah, they shouldn't even be in the same category.
I agree.
Yeah, you can't put them up against each other and say one is better than the other. You know, okay, if you put Penguin up against, Daredevil, they're in a similar ballpark. And Penguin would be the winner. Because, I mean, why are you putting the Penguin up against Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story, which is, true story murder? That was good.
That was good.
And the Penguin up against True Detective.
I've actually seen all of these for once. Yeah,
I've seen Ripley. I saw one episode of True Detective that season. I don't know if I've seen Disclaimer. Has anybody seen Disclaimer?
I have seen Disclaimer, yeah.
Sex Electronica's in the chat. True story in speech marks. Vex, let me know if you want to pop on and say hi. I'll send you a link. Same goes to Gord as well. Sorry, I should have said that earlier. Yeah, I mean, that's just a bizarre. That's like best whatever. Anything we couldn't put in another category, we'll stick in here.
Lance, if you had seen Disclaimer and then you look at the rest of these in this category, you'd understand why you're so close to being right with the best whatever. Because all of these shows are as far apart. I mean, just one's like a documentary drama, dramatized documentary, the Lyle Menendez Penguin superhero crime show, Ripley, True Detective Night Country, way off the rails. It's just all of this stuff is weird that it'd be in the same listing together.
Yeah, that is odd. Not sure what they're doing in this category, frankly. But anyway, okay. Well, we'll move on. Now, I find this next category also a little bit bizarre, because if you're going to do which film got the best box office achievement, well, that's simply a numbers counting exercise. But no, that can't be that. They have to make it cinematic and box office achievement. So, I guess that means spectacular visuals and hey, whatever. So the categories were Alien Romulus, which I thought was extremely average, but looked good in places. Beetlejuice, which was okay. Deadpool and Wolverine, which wasn't my bag, but most people seem to like it. Gladiator 2, possibly one of the biggest disappointments of the year. Inside Out 2, absolutely fantastic. Twisters, I haven't seen. Wicked, everybody loves it. The Wild Robot, everybody loves it. I'm sure Wicked deserves it. I haven't seen it yet. Gord King says, best box office achievement goes to a movie with less money than some of its nominees. Yeah.
It really is crazy. I don't know how the hell it beats Deadpool and Wolverine there. I mean, that was a phenomenon. Everybody went and saw that 3 times over. And I didn't even care for Deadpool and Wolverine all that much. It kind of turned me off the first time I watched it, even though I still saw it 2 more times afterwards.
Good for you.
But I came back. People coerced me back in the theater. But, man, I loved Wicked, though, just generally.
Really? Yeah, I still haven't seen Wicked yet, and it's not that I don't want to. I just don't go to the cinema on my own.
I've heard nothing but good things about it, though.
Yeah.
I heard the actress is actually very good in it. It's just if she just shut the hell up and stopped being such a bloody idiot.
Who's Cynthia Rudro?
Okay.
Yeah.
We're not gonna waste time talking about that. That's in the realm of nonsense. We don't do that here. Okay. So, anyone want to say anything else about that category? Shall we move
That's
on?
a weird category. I agree. I think
it is an unusual category. What does it mean? You know?
Yeah. What was the achievement?
I'm assuming. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, if you're using the word cinematic, you know, what is cinematic? Well, cinematic is usually stunning visuals. Okay, well, who's behind those? The director of photography. So what you're basically saying is this is the award for best director of photography combined with good box office business.
Right. I could make an argument. I could make a compelling argument for each and every one of these that's in the category. I could say that Alien Romulus is extremely beautiful. I could say that Beetlejuice is very innovative in some of the way they mix match, you know, their the things that they do with the claymation and shit like that. Deadpool and Wolverine, you know, all that stuff. You could make an argument for all of those. By the way, Wild Robot was really good too, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I really did enjoy Wild Robot. Now, a new guest has arrived. They're currently in the waiting room. Now, I have just checked their 2025 contract for appearing on the Outcast Creative as passed on to me by their agent. And it says from now on, their intro has to be preceded by sexy dancing ladies. Michael, we're only too pleased to concede to your wishes. Welcome, the Gord King.
Thank you for having me, and I appreciate the fanfare as well, as was contracted.
As was contracted, absolutely. So, do you have any comment on this this interestingly titled award, cinematic and box office achievement?
It doesn't make a lick of sense. I'm still trying to work out how. Let's see. Okay, so Deadpool, Wolverine, and Inside Out 2 are the highest grossing movies of the year. Wicked's doing well. It's doing quite well, but it's going to probably finish 4th, 5th for the year. I mean, that's good, but I would figure that if you're trying to measure box office achievement, you're going to go with the movie that if not makes the most, then profits the highest. I would still assume that Wicked doesn't fit that bill. Yeah. I don't get why Twisters and Gladiator 2 are even on here. I don't even know why they're on here.
Yeah,
they both lost money,
wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Gladiator 2 is going to lose a lot of money. And Twisters, as much as I liked it,
Gladiator 2 hasn't even broken even yet, is it?
No, not even close.
I can't see that it will at this point. How could it?
It goes to show the people nominating these things are fucking idiots who have not got a clue what they're doing.
Yeah.
Well, there are presumably other Golden Globe winners, so you know, make of that.
I mean, as much as I didn't like Beetlejuice, I get it being nominated. It did incredibly well. And I'd say it kind of exceeded expectations. And as much as I couldn't care less about this movie, Moana 2, I mean, that's made lots of that's closing in on $1 billion right now.
I did not expect that.
So boring. I just watched it. It's nothing. I can't remember what the hell happened in that movie.
I don't remember much of what happened in the first one.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the first one, to be honest. But
yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad. I was just like, I just forgot about it afterwards.
You know what this category reminds me of? It reminds me of like when I worked at a video store and you do like employee picks and then just like put it up on the thing. I'd be like, oh yeah, you got to check out Glengarry Glen Ross and just like put it up on the shelf and like the
great film
category.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, I've seen that on.
He is for closers.
I've seen it on stage 3 times, and one of those times, Christian Bale played the Al Pacino role.
Did he freaking really? Wow!
Yeah, and do you know what? He was good.
That.
He was good.
Of course he was. Of course.
Yeah,
he was
I mean,
good.
on stage, you know, second time I've seen him on stage, I met him very briefly afterwards.
I would appear in that for free if I could get into that. I would do that for anything.
You can play the Kevin Spacey role in it, no problem.
Ew! Don't.
I'll play the brass balls.
Actually, that's it. That's a fun part because he's a proper bastard, that character. Anyway, all right, let's move on. Best original song for the movie. I'm surprised my pumpkin is not in this category. But
I mean, I get a special award every year because it's timeless.
Oh, okay, fantastic. That is good to know. I have not seen this movie, Amelia Perez. Good. Was that a rush out and buy a ticket for you?
No, it's not. It's not a movie I'm especially interested in.
I
know it's a musical, so I assume there's a selection.
Oh, it's a musical.
Yeah, it's. I don't know a ton about it. I know very little, and from what I read, I was like, yeah, I'll never watch this. I don't care.
Right. Awesome.
Oh, that's what Enzo was talking about in his show the other night. Okay.
Has he seen it?
Yeah, he has. Yeah, apparently.
So there's the 3 leads.
It just kind of reminds me of this Family Guy joke where they say, you know, if you want to get a Golden Globe nomination, all you have to do is take the executives out to lunch. That's it. That's all you do.
Right. Well, 5-star restaurant, presumably. I don't know anything about this movie, but I do like Zoe Salinger, so
I know it checks certain boxes. I know that much.
Where?
Really?
I mean, I don't feel like I need to say which ones, but
no.
But I haven't seen it. I'm not remotely interested in it, so I'm like, okay, I expected it would win some awards. I didn't expect that Anora would get shut out, but you know, it's what happens sometimes.
God, I'll be sure to send you the 4K extended Blu-ray next Christmas. Right, we've then got best original score for a movie, right? And now, I have to say that actually the music for Challengers, shite film though it was actually not that bad. Did have a decent old school, quite emotional score. But that said, I still didn't think, I've got to get this score. The Brutalist I haven't seen. Conclave I haven't seen. Dune Part 2's score goes like this. So, I mean, it's sound design and music fusion. That's not my cup of tea. Again, Amelia Perez. The Wild Robot's got a great score, but Challengers was the winner.
I thought The Substance should have been nominated here. I remember distinctly loving the music from The Substance. It's probably my favorite score of the year.
Yeah, no, I agree. That did have a really good score. You're right.
You feel like Deadpool and Wolverine still. I mean, TikTok, Deadpool dancing to NSYNC. You have Madonna cover. Like,
well, that wouldn't count as an original score though. It's soundtrack. So,
all right.
But Challengers getting it. I mean, all you got to do is just get like, you know, that's what I call music 2006, and then you've got like the soundtrack right then and there. So, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I was thinking of more of the original instrumental music in the film. I do remember it, so that's a good sign. But you know, do I think it should have got the best one? I don't know. Anyway, we'll move on. So let's have a look at best director for a movie. Brady Corbett, who sounds like someone from the Brady Bunch, won this for The Brutalist again, which I haven't seen. Gord, have you seen The Brutalist?
No, I know a little bit about what it's about, and I know it's like it's about as long as the original cut of Return of the King. But
is it?
Yeah, it's like it's almost 3 hours and 40 minutes to my understanding.
It is.
Yeah, it's a lengthy one. The only reason I know what it's about is because one of the few highlights I saw from the Golden Globes was Nikki Glaser making a joke about Adrian Brody being a 2-time Holocaust survivor. So I was like, okay, well, I know the Pianist is one of those, and I assume the Brutalist is another. And I was like, okay. But yeah, it's 3 hours and 35 minutes. That is a chunker of a movie.
We're coming on to best animated in a minute. Vex Electronica said Flow is deserved for best animated. I heard the log line for that was "It's that time of the month again."
Nice.
Flow. So best film animated. Yeah. So funny enough, I was thinking I haven't even heard of this movie. Wanted to check what the poster was, so I found it, and it appears to be. I have a feeling this poster would be unpopular with cat lovers, as it appears to be a cat drowning in the ocean. Not quite sure what's going on here.
To my understanding, it is pro cat. It's fine.
I saw Flow and I loved it. I thought it was the best animated film of the year. It's a touching story, you know, it's weird. There's no language at all. Nobody talks. It's just animals making noises. And it's like a touching story with real peril. All these poor animals, they go through absolute hell. And there's a ton of inexplicable, like fantastical elements to this where you're like, how is this possible? You know, why is the world this way? Like this flood just suddenly emerges from the ground. There's these really strange whales that traverse the newly flooded grounds of the earth, and none of it's explained. And you know what? That's okay. It was kind of fun how it was just random. It just popped up, and I think it was so easy to just get swept up into the madness of the danger that came to this poor crew of animals that you didn't care.
That's cool. And it makes it sound kind of like it's got a similar imagination of a Studio Ghibli movie.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's got that look for sure. I like that style.
Yeah. Plus, if you ever do a sequel, you could just flip the letters around. Wolf. There you go. Different animal.
Welcome to the chat, Yarmwich Live. Yeah, it does look good. I definitely want to see this.
Mm-hmm.
It's moving too. I couldn't believe it. It got me. I mean, genuinely, really concerned at times. So yeah, it's a tearjerker.
Watership Down vibes.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh.
Yeah, just as we say, man, it's another film where I saw one trailer on my app, and I have like 4 theaters in my area, and only one showing for like a couple of days, and just no marketing. No one talked about it.
So this is
I didn't get that either.
This is the team behind it. Definite punch up as soon as they got off camera. But I get to take it home. No, it's mine. No, it's mine.
The guy on the left, I'm putting my money on him getting to take it home.
Yeah, he's got the more psycho.
Give me that globe.
Yeah. So I wonder how they deal with that. You know, whether they give out extra awards for, when it's a team or whatever. Be a bit shit if they didn't. So,
I mean, they've definitely got the money to where they can give them all their own statue, I guess. But I don't know if they do.
Our panel urges you to check out Flow if you haven't seen it yet.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So,
it defies every language barrier because you won't hear anybody speak. It's great.
I love this, right? Best male actor in film, musical, or comedy.
I only saw this category today, and I was laughing at Hugh Grant being nominated in this category for Heretic. And I was like, in what universe is that a comedy or musical?
Well, Heretic. I mean,
it is kind of darkly funny in places. It's, I mean, Hugh Grant did have a couple of moments that made me laugh, like "Pie."
Well, I mean, it's
not a comedy though.
It is a film, but I mean, I just that is a bit of an odd. I mean, Hitman. That's I don't know. Saturday Night, that's good.
Yeah, Hitman is definitely a bit of a dark comedy in ways. It's got a little bit of a comedic edge to it, even though it's
no. Hitman's a straight up comedy. What are you talking?
Yeah, now good. Your rival's nominated here. Look, Jesse Eisenberg You know,
No.
can't get Michael Cera, get Jesse Eisenberg. So
Look at this guy getting nominated for just playing himself.
For playing himself, yeah. Why didn't they give it to Culkin? Culkin deserved it a lot better. I don't get.
Well,
that.
he got nominated. I think he got nominated in supporting actor, and I think he won.
Yeah, I think he did. Well. Okay, so Sebastian Stan in A Different Man. Has anyone seen A Different Man?
I've never even heard of it.
I've been hearing about it, but I don't know if it's out yet. Is it?
Well, funnily enough, I follow Sebastian Stan on Twitter, and I've known about this guy for a while. This is the guy who's going through this whole process of trying to take control of his life, and he's got an extreme. It's a bit like the Elephant Man, you know, the facial.
Yeah, I recognise this guy. He's done a lot of documentaries as well.
Yeah, but I think this version is a dramatization of his life, but I don't think it's really him. I think it's an actor playing him. Because the real him, the makeup is, you know, this makeup matches it, but it's makeup. It's not really him.
Yeah, it does look a little looser, doesn't it? While the real guy looks a bit more bumpier.
Is the real guy meant to be that guy that was in Under the Skin?
Yeah, I think that's the same guy.
He just wanted to go to Tesco.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right. We're coming up to a couple of female categories here. One of whom, for me, absolutely deserves it. Really pleased. The other one, I like the actress, but not so sure. So, best female actor in a film, musical, or comedy. Demi Moore wins for The Substance. Good. Very glad to see that. Has anyone seen Amy Adams in Night Bitch?
I have.
Any good?
It's pretty good. She's pretty good in it. It's interesting. It's not, you know, it's like think female version of the '94 film Wolf with Jack Nicholson. Think of that. It's kind of similar without the murder mystery.
Oh, okay. It's got Scoot McNairy in it, who always gets kind of cast as like long-term suffering boyfriends.
I love him. Scoot.
Yeah, he's a good actor. I mean, he is a good actor, but he always gets cast in those.
He's typecast for sure. Yeah,
parts.
That's gotta be the worst typecast.
This almost feels like, I have to say, this poster almost feels like an advert for Kathleen Kennedy assuming the reign of kind of, you know, Lucasfilm and Disney products. You know, but I don't know. Hey,
I will say this. I mean, granted, this really isn't his fault, but Scoot McNairy was in Speak No Evil, and again, not his fault, but his role sucked horribly.
Poor guy, lip dick.
It's just everything about that movie's terrible. That's one of the worst remakes I've ever seen.
I love just seeing his reaction to everything. I that's what I loved about him. He had this. I mean, he was kind of a lip dick the whole time, but he just gave the best expressions every time something wild was happening.
It's in part that's sort of part of the character, but it's
Right.
different in the Danish version. It's more just like the niceties of society is what makes them vulnerable because they're kind of they're slaves to it. But he's not like necessarily a massive cuck to his wife or anything. It's ugh. I disliked everything about that movie.
Damn.
Well,
other than James McAvoy's performance, James McAvoy is quite good in it. His role still sucks.
I think we'll all agree we're very happy for Demi Moore winning.
Very.
Substance. Yeah.
And well deserved.
Yeah. I'm surprised one of the comedians didn't say, where are the switches on the side of that? You know, does it charge into the mains or what? But really horrible looking award. But yeah, great. I love her dress as well. Fantastic.
She's really underrated. I hope she gets. I've said this in other streams. She's in Landman, and she's being criminally underutilized. And I hope that she gets some more, a bigger, juicier part in this.
Well, I feel like that's coming because in the last couple of episodes, I sort of see that they're giving her a little bit more.
You might be without. Yeah, we don't spoil it. Don't spoil.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't spoil. Don't spoil.
Okay. All right. So yeah, good for her. All right, but then we had best female actor in a TV limited series, anthology series, or TV film.
Yeah, we're not going to like the winner.
No, well, look, I do like the winner. She's an amazing actress. Jodie
I like
Foster.
her too, but this.
I like
not-
it, but not. I don't think
for
she
this.
deserves to win this one.
I'm going to say hands down, Kristen Milotti absolutely should have won this.
Exactly.
Kate,
That's what I was saying.
Kate Winslet in The Regime, she was good, but nothing I hadn't seen her do before. Naomi Watts feud, Capote versus the Swans, probably the next best contender in this category, I would argue. Sophia Vergara and Griselda, she did her thing. It's nothing I haven't seen her do before. But Kristen Milotti, I just, I read a really big interview with her recently where she kept saying she was just waiting to get fired the whole time.
Really?
She thought,
Wow.
she wasn't doing a good job.
What?
And but no, they just loved what she was doing, so they were just sort of leaving her alone. And she was thinking, no one's saying anything.
I've yet to hear from, meet, or listen to anybody who didn't say that she stole that show.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it was her breakout performance.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, I there's no way she shouldn't have won for this. I think Jodie Foster's mates, and she's, let's face it, she's queen hierarchy in this world. Rally round and.
I mean, I haven't watched that season, but I've seen clips, and people I know and trust have watched it, and they're like, it's awful. And the clips I've seen, I'm like, that's
so bad.
That's B tier acting.
I watched it from start to finish too. I watched the whole thing.
All right, let's move on. Best male actor, Colin Farrell, The Penguin. I can't disagree with that.
Yeah, no, based
works for me.
The other nominees are all pretty good. I haven't. Yeah, Cooper Koch. That's probably a good shout on the.
Which brother is he, Lance?
I think he's the one who sort of is slightly more aggressive.
The hairpiece.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. They were both great, those two actors, though. I thought.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
What that? Yeah, but I didn't know the actor's name.
Right.
So, but yeah, I watched it. You told me to watch it.
So Jodie Foster is not a good actress. Come on, Vex, you can't say that. You can't say that. Watch The Accused and tell me that's true. That's bullshit. She's not good in this, but you can't just say she's not a good actress.
Actually, she is good in it. Actually, she plays the role. She does well. So does
It's not a good show. The writing's terrible, isn't it?
Right. The writing's terrible. I mean, she does a good job, but I mean, I don't think that. I mean, is that how you quantify that? Can you just say, oh well, it's a shit show or a shit movie, and but they were good in it, so I'm going to just give them the. I don't think it works like that. I don't think it can.
Yeah.
I mean, it did, but I mean.
I would just like to point out that I am removing the Gord part of Drew Gordon's name for saying The Accused was better than Silence of the Lambs. You're just Drew on now.
Right. Wow. Look at that. The Accused. Silence of the Lambs.
I mean, The Accused is good. Don't get me wrong, but it's not. Silence of the Lambs is a masterpiece.
I think he's probably saying her performance in it is probably better. I think than.
Maybe I'd have to see it again to know for sure. It was a really good performance. The movie itself, I was just like, okay, it's like a one and done.
I mean, yeah, Vex has just committed sacrilege and has said Jodie has done 2 good roles and that's it. Right, so we're gonna have to go down a temporary rabbit hole now.
Underrated performance of hers. Watch Carnage. The whole cast is really good. And I know it's Roman Polanski, and Polanski's gross, but the movie itself is good, and she's excellent in it.
Well, the first thing I saw her in was Bugsy Malone, which had a number of friends of mine in it, in which she's very good in it. So that's one. In fact, she's superbly confident compared to the rest of the cast. Taxi Driver, boom, that's 2. She's also very good in the original Freaky Friday, that's 3. She's good in Candle Shoe opposite David Niven, that's 4. Which I also saw at the cinema. Foxes was pretty average, but she's good in it. But I'll leave you that. Stealing Home, one of my favorite films of all time. She's absolutely amazing in that film, which Vex probably hasn't even seen.
Vex hasn't seen most of these, that's for sure.
No. Then you got The Accused.
I mean, I haven't either.
She's good in Shadows of the Fog. She's good in Little Man Tate. She's a lot of fun in Maverick with Mel Gibson.
She's
I like
great. She's so good.
She's a lot of fun in Maverick.
She is. She's good in Contact. You know, Contact's a very rewatchable movie.
I haven't seen that though. I'm going to be on a live show in 2 weeks talking that movie, so I'll be seeing it for the first time. Yeah.
You could argue that she's good in Panic Room, even though I personally don't care.
She is good in Panic Room, and Panic Room is one of the weaker David Fincher movies, but she's good in it.
She's good in it, but
Kristen Stewart's good in it too.
Kristen Stewart is good in it. Yeah.
I haven't seen her in Anna and the King. A Very Long Engagement is one of my favorite French films of all time.
I haven't seen that.
You
Flight
guys
Plan's
should watch
good.
it. It's really good. I really like Elysium. A film that a lot of people don't.
She's great in Inside Man. I wish she was here.
Inside Man is really that's kind of an underrated heist movie.
That's the one with Denzel, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, it's one of the few Spike Lee movies.
Vex, we just blown that out of the water. 2 is total nonsense. So her defense is she plays the same character in half of these. I could go through them.
She doesn't.
Point out how that's completely untrue. That's definitely, you know. Okay, all right. We're gonna having proved that Vex is categorically wrong.
Full of shit. You're full of shit, Vex.
Of cinema. We're gonna move on. Right. Okay. So let's continue. So that's it. Vex, your invite is revoked.
Blue Collar, don't think that we didn't see you. Don't think we didn't see you co-signing with her in the chat, because I did see you do it there. Quit simping for Vex.
No,
I don't want to get.
Yeah,
stop it.
Well, she did like sugar, so.
All right.
Actually, no. I like when Blue Collar goes against the grain. I'm fine with
this film. She's been grabbing him with vodka shots and everything.
Okay, right. Focus, panel. Question for you: best film in a non-English language, right? So Emilia Perez is the winner. Okay. Now I'm willing to bet that most of you have not seen any of the films in this category.
As one would say in Spanish. As one would say in Spanish, no.
Okay, so purely for shits and giggles, based on the title alone, which one are you going to watch if you have to watch one? I'm going to go with The Seed of the Sacred Fig because it just sounds bonkers. Blue?
Sure.
No, you've got to say the title. Sure is not on the list.
Okay.
Deodorant.
I'm still on. Emily Perez, The Girl with the Needle. I'm still here. I'm up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, Blue, why don't you ask Vex what you should pick, and then she can tell you.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Gord, what would you pick based on the titles?
Well, based on the titles, I would, because I find this title amusing, The Seed of the Sacred Fig.
Yeah, because that could be in the pumpkin patch. It could be like
it could be. It could be. I am annoyed because I have seen a few non-English language movies, and
I love them. I love foreign films.
I think The Devil's Bath would have been a good nominee, and Eczema would have been excellent in this category. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Eczema is the best foreign film of the year. But The Devil's Bath would have also been a good one. There was one more. This one I wouldn't nominate necessarily, but the French movie Mads is interesting. It's worth checking out.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Well, The Seed of the Sacred Fig is about. Hang on, I'll tell you when I've got the rest of the panel's answers. Brawler, what about you?
Well, I like the sound of Vermiglio, or it's Vermiglio. I'm not sure. Either that or I'm Still Here, because it sounds optimistic, and I could use an optimistic story right now.
We're sending you optimistic vibes from here. Okay. What about you, Tox?
I would, if I had to pick just off the title, I'd go with The Girl with the Needle, because chicks that shoot up do more stuff. So.
You stole my joke. You stole my joke.
That's you just reminded me why I don't have you on here too frequently. Okay, so the
fair and based.
But you know, we're about to start the Shield again, so that's all going to change.
Yay! I'm valid again.
Looking forward to that. Well, The Girl with the Needle looks pretty French noir there. Northern, what about you? What would you pick?
Yeah, I think I will go the girl with the needle. I was going to make that same joke Toxic did, but it does sound very, very... sounds a bit grim, and I'm Northern and English, so yeah, grim is my thing.
Well, let's have a look at your choices here. Here is the girl with the needle.
I like where this is going.
We misjudged it. We misjudged it.
It looks like, basically, guys, it looks like you're all going to get a needle to the balls from some kind of creepy nurse.
You know what?
Sounds like some kind of horror or disturbing movie going by the comments.
The film does not sound as sexy as the title suggests.
No. I mean,
it sounds sexier now.
Sounding,
It depends on what you're into.
Indeed. Pure cinema, apparently. That's what it says. Nightmarishly beautiful, terrifyingly timeless. Vermiglio is basically about two people kissing in a hut on the top of the mountain. Possibly with a volcano exploding in the background. Not quite sure what's going on there. But looks
I think that's just a colorful sunrise.
The seed of the sacred fig is set in Tehran, so you know that's going to be really cheerful.
Yeah, and it's a thriller, so yeah, I'm happy with my pick.
Yeah,
I still don't know what the heck they mean, but that's fine.
I like that poster. It's kind of an interesting.
That is a cool poster.
Yeah, just need a bit of snot dripping out the nose, back to guy on the head.
Gross.
Yeah. That's what's going on here right now. Rachel Percy Art says, "Hey, Lord Toxic, are we still on for later?" Oh, sorry, I had that comment.
You're gonna give me a trouble. My girlfriend's listening to the stream, Lance.
I thought that was your girlfriend. Actually, that's what.
No.
Okay.
Tell her he's into needles.
So let's get back to our list here. Right, we got stand-up comedy on television. As the next category. Yeah, so these are like the Netflix comedy specials and things like that. You got Jamie Foxx, which I watched the other night. Some of that was interesting. It was very churchy. Nikki Glasser, Seth Meyers, I've seen. Adam Sandler's was great. Ali Wong actually was, I just watched that. It was very funny. I'm quite willing to listen to a stand-up comedian woman who is quite hot talk to me for 30 minutes about why I should be eating her out. I'm quite happy to listen to that argument. So it worked for me. So good stuff. I approve. Anyone have a different view on any of those before?
Yeah, because Shane Gillis not being on there, and that other guy I talked about on Stupenzo's stream the other night that does all the clean humor with talking about him and his wife, Gord King. You know who I'm talking about. Those guys had stand-up specials, and they should have been on there for sure.
Yeah, the guy you're talking about is hilarious.
I'm sure he should have been, but I'm more convinced by half an hour of being told why I need to eat vag. Okay, let's move on. Best screenplay.
I like film. That too. I like that too.
All right, so this is best screenplay for a feature film. We got The Substance was nominated. Jesse Eisenberg, getting into other areas. Gord King, you need to catch up. He wrote A Real Pain. That might be the story about you and stealing his parts. Brady Corbett, The Brutalist, Sean Baker, Honora, and Amelia Perez again. Who has seen Conclave?
I have seen Conclave.
Any good?
Yeah, very good indictment. I'm Catholic. It's a very good indictment of the Roman Catholic Church and all the politics that go into the things in the upper echelons. Pretty good. Pretty interesting.
Is that the one to do with like the voting of the next pope?
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Do you know what? I wanted to watch that. I haven't seen it yet. It's sort of loosely based on a true story, right?
Correctamundo. I don't. If I tell you which pope it's about, you'll already know what it's about.
No. So don't tell me. But
no. Yeah. Give it a chance. It's good.
One of my favorite character actors of all time is in it, Stanley Tucci, who I just think.
Yes. He's so good in it too.
Yeah, Conclave. Okay. Shame it didn't win. So the winner.
I would have done Honora. I would have said Honora had the best screenplay, actually.
Yeah, so it did win. It did win. Great. Okay, so it sounds like it deserved it. Would have been nice if The Substance got it because that was very much an indie film. Has anyone seen Honora by Sean Baker?
Yeah.
Any good?
Yeah, it's really good. It's surprising. Another one Enzo got me to watch. And I enjoyed it. Very, very well done movie. I think you would like it too, Lance, actually.
Well, I often like the ones that are nominated for best screenplay because, funnily enough, usually they do have a good screenplay.
Yeah. Did you like Uncut Gems?
Yeah, that was good. Yeah,
then you'll like that. You'll like this. Then you'll like this. Yeah, it won the Palme d'Or. I forgot to mention that. Mikey Madison, very good. I think she's going to be a big star.
A young escort from Brooklyn meets and impulsively marries the son of a Russian oligarch. Once the news reaches Russia, her fairy tale is threatened as his parents set out for New York to get the marriage annulled. Yeah, annulled with knives, probably, I'm guessing. Yeah, this does sound good, actually.
If you don't recognize her, she's in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. She's,
yeah, the girl with the feet.
Well, the one he throws the can of dog. No, it's not that girl.
No,
she's
the
one.
She's the girl tries to.
She's the one that ends up in the swimming pool.
Yep, she's the one who gets torched in the swimming pool. Gets the dog to the face. Yeah,
she's
Margaret
also
Qualley is the girl. Is the other girl? She's in The Substance. Yeah,
I do recognize her.
She was in. She got a big start in that FX TV show where she plays one of the kids of the actress, and she was also in the Scream reboot. So she's making the rounds. She's doing pretty good.
Yeah, Mickey Madison.
Yep. I think it's Mikey.
Born in
Better
1999. I can't get my head around that. So
she's a youngling.
15 credits already. Lady in the Lake. Has anyone seen that?
I have not.
60s Baltimore, an aspiring reporter pursues the murder of a forgotten young woman.
Strange women lying in ponds is no basis for a system of government.
Well, yeah. or indeed a drama series, but hey, you never know. Might be good. All right, we're nearly at the end of these. Then we can get one more recommendation for everyone present.
That sounds like a quote from the host.
Well, indeed. So then we had Best Male Actor in a TV Series, Musical or Comedy, just in case, we didn't cover everything. Martin Short and Steve Martin were both up. So was Ted Danson, who is an actor I like, but I haven't seen A Man on the Inside.
Man on the Inside.
Adam Brody, Nobody Wants This. I have seen The Bear. Jeremy Allen White is really good. Kind of feels like it's his time, so I'm glad he got that. Anyone else want to comment on that before we move on?
I would have done. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I thought I didn't really get all that into Only Murders in the Building. My mom's really into it. From what I watched, Steve Martin and Martin Short, they're hilarious. I just don't know how they're able to keep coming up with such clever material.
Yeah, they are good in it. It's amazing that they can keep a straight face when they're doing a take together, because
I think it helps
off each other really well, don't they?
Yeah, and I think aside from their chemistry, I think it helps that they are each other's check and balance. I think it's, if you have ideas to filter through a person, that's always really valuable. The fact that they're filtering each other's ideas, I think that helps.
Yeah,
I don't think that I don't suspect they yes man one another.
No,
if it's funny,
not
funny,
after working together for. Yeah, they've been working together longer than I've been alive.
Yeah.
So.
Also, now Steve Martin's not like shackled to that really rather not very talented British actress. That's better for him.
Yeah, he seems to have a very rough, career after, what was it? Sergeant Bilko, was it? And he just never was the same since. But
he just did a lot of movies that just were not funny.
Yeah,
Sergeant Bilko was
very
pretty
funny
rough.
guy. He's brilliant. He really is. I love his old stuff, and I don't want to check out this program. It's been popping up on Disney Plus a few times, so I'm going to have to give it a go. I don't like.
Yeah, it's watchable nonsense. It's
background noise. Yeah, it's fun. The episode where they take the piss out of Zach Galifianakis is pretty good. I would have liked Shrinking to do better. I've been a big advocate for Shrinking, and I'd really like to see that do better than it's doing.
Well, before we get into Toxic Fascination with Shrinking things, Influencer is yearly vaccinated against Chuck Norris for $2 from RRTN. Thank you very much.
Facts.
Really do appreciate that very, very much so. And Chuck Norris jokes are always welcome here.
Technically, you don't even have to send money. Every chat about Chuck Norris is a super chat.
Facts.
Best supporting male actor on TV. absolutely over the moon that it went to Tadanobu Asano for Shogun. Totally deserved. I haven't seen Harrison Ford in Shrinking yet. Slow Horses, Jack Loudon. I like Jack Loudon. He's a fantastic actor. I love him. And he will get an award one day. And again, Javier Bardem was great as the dad, but the right person won this award, without a doubt. The right person.
Did he play Toranaga?
I want to say yes, but I'm not 100% on that, so I'm going to just check.
I would have. He kind of have to, I think.
Although Toranaga felt like he was one of the leads.
Right. Well, I mean, who do they think is
best-
the lead of the show then?
This is
if
for
not?
best supporting, so I'm wondering if no, Hiroki Sanada was the person who played Toranaga. I have a feeling, do you remember the older male advisor?
Okay.
Who was really, really good. I have a feeling it might be him.
Okay.
that snapped up this
Kashigi.
one.
His name's Kashigi Yabushigi.
Is
That's
that
the
the name
character
of
name.
that's the name of the character?
Mhm.
Let me have a
Okay.
look.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no, I've got him. Here we are. Oh, okay, he played that guy. Yeah, he did a good job. I mean,
that clears it up.
there's a lot of supporting male actors that in Shogun that I think could have easily won this award as well as him, but he's no less deserving. This actor.
Mhm.
So he's the one who betrays them.
Yep.
Yeah. See, so the one I really like is the actor on the left in this with the graying beard. He was like the older kind of wise advisor. Every scene he was in, he just killed it. Loved him.
If you don't recognize this guy who won the award, he's actually in 2 of the Thor movies. He's the Asian guy who's Thor's friends with, his little group of warriors. He's the Asian guy. Yeah.
I'm sorry, did you make the mistake of mentioning superhero movies on my channel again?
Well, gotta go.
Hey.
He's gotta go.
Both of the Thor movies he's in are the good ones.
Yeah,
He's in the
that's
2
why
good
I don't
ones.
recognize him because I've seen both of the Thor movies, but I couldn't remember.
Well, there's four Thor movies, and only half of them are good.
Oh, right. Okay.
Facts.
Which 2? The first 2 are the 2 good ones, aren't
No, it's the first one and the third one. First one
and
and
the third one.
Ragnarok. Yeah.
Yeah.
they? Right. Okay. So, best supporting female actor on TV, Jessica Gurning for Baby Ranger. I mean, she was very good. Dakota Fanning was good in Ripley, but I wouldn't say better than Jessica Gunning. So
No, she was the best.
no, so yeah, I'll say that's that of the people on offer. Alison Janey, very good. I love her as an actress. Very good in The Diplomat. So best male actor, there you go. So that's Hiroki Sanada, who played Toranaga.
Got it.
Shogun.
Got it.
Yeah, I like the fact that Billy Bob Thornton was nominated for Landman. That's nice, isn't it?
I like that Donald Glover got nominated for Mr. and Mrs. Smith because he killed that role.
Yeah, and Jake Gyllenhaal was very good in Presumed Innocent. Gary Oldman was great in Slow Horses, and Eddie Redmayne was very good. So these of all of the categories, this is one where I can say I feel everybody deserves to be here for sure. I have not seen A Real Pain with Kieran Culkin. Has anyone else seen that?
I have seen it.
What's it like?
It's good. It's these cousins going, these Jewish cousins going on like a I forget the term, not a pilgrimage, but a tour, a sadness tour. That's not the right word, but to go see landmarks around Poland of where atrocities happen against the Jews.
Okay, to visit Auschwitz and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, there's a term for it. Enzo told me the other night, but I've forgotten it.
Okay, I forgot. Good. I feel like you should have been in this, man. Okay,
Jesse,
so Kieran Culkin was nominated for that. It does look pretty good, has to be said. I'm kind of keen to see it. I do like my kind of buddy road movies with a sort of deeper, usually an underlining sort of deeper meaning as to why they're going wherever they're going and stuff. So this is not a dissimilar film to my own last movie. So yeah, I'm quite curious to see it now. And Kieran Culkin is turning into an absolutely outstanding actor.
Yep.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, without a
Yeah,
doubt.
he is. It's weird to think that he basically got his start as the kid who pees the bed in the Home Alone movies.
Yeah, Yeah. But,
What an arc.
And we all got to see him in succession, and suddenly everybody was like, shit, this guy's actually really fucking good in the right role.
I honestly thought the aha moment, at least for me when I watch him, was when he's in Scott Pilgrim. I was like, wow, he's a good actor. He's got good charisma to him. I was like, watching that movie, I thought I hope someone picks up on this, because he could definitely be a good actor.
When you say watching that movie, do you mean acting in that movie alongside him in that movie, or
either or?
Okay, yeah, all right, fair enough.
So we're nearly at the end here. I'm going to mention what I've got coming up next straight after this, just while we have 24 people watching. Thank you for hanging out with us. We appreciate you giving us your time. Best female actor in a TV series, blah, blah, blah. Jean Smart won it for Hacks. Well, I love Jean Smart, so I'm very pleased to read that.
She's a good actress.
Zoe Salinger won it for Amelia Perez, which I haven't seen. I do like her. I probably like her over all the other nominees. So,
I mean, of the ones I've seen, I guess I would lean Margaret Qualley, but I haven't watched any of the other movies.
Oh, yeah, she was actually, to be honest, she was really good.
Yeah.
And that's kind of weird that in a supporting role, because you could argue that her and Demi Moore are the two equal leads in that film.
You could. I mean, the movie kind of begins and ends with Demi, so I'm fine with her being considered the lead. But I mean, Margaret Qualley's fantastic in it.
They've both got roughly about the same amount of screen time, haven't they? It's pretty similar.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah. All right. That was the Golden Globes. So before my panel recommend anything they want to recommend quickly, and we then head to wrap up, I'll just remind everyone that despite my poorly state, I've got an interview tomorrow, and I've got an interview on the channel on Thursday. So I've got legendary dancer from the rave scene worldwide, in fact, as I find out more facts about my guests. Vicky Lee is coming in tomorrow, I think at the slightly earlier time of 7. So she'll be joining us. And of course, she's part of Gord's intro now whenever Gord comes on the channel. So, she's a personal trainer to many celebrities and fitness instructor and so on. She should be on Gladiators, if you ask me. Anyway, she's going to be in tomorrow, so she's going to be a fab guest. And then I've got an independent film director coming in on Thursday at around 8 o'clock, making sure it happens before open bar. And that's independent film director Gulshan Singh, who's got a movie coming out called IC9. And again, these were both supposed to happen before Christmas, but we had to delay it because Gulshan had a death in the family. So I was happy to reschedule because we all know how fun that can be. So that's going to be on Thursday at 8 o'clock. So do join me for both of those interviews. Okay, they should be good fun. All right, so I'm going to go around the panel, and if anyone has any other film or TV show, just pick one because we're pushed for time. You want to quickly recommend that we haven't talked about tonight, please do. If you haven't got anything to recommend, just give us a plug about what you've got coming up. Blue, let's start with you, mate.
Well, I saw a film, the first of 2025, no marketing as usual, called The Damned, and it's got the other guy, the Hound from Game of Thrones. It's technically a horror film, but first-time director. It's not a bad film. It's a very, I'd say, my recommendation, but it's got an interesting premise, and I think it's worth checking out for everybody later on during the year. So it's a pretty.
What would you give it out of 10?
I'd probably say a good. Probably 5. I mean, because it kind of drags, but like I like the premise, the atmosphere, and for a first time director, it's got a good idea. So it's worth the recommendation, but not like didn't blow me away, but I think it's worth watching.
Okay, so it's a cautious recommendation.
Yeah, it's one of them, like, what good acting, good atmosphere, and it's only an hour and a half long, and it's not a bad film. I just think that this is you can tell somebody who's just like getting their feet wet. Yeah, it's a first time director. It's not a bad film. So it's just I wouldn't rush out to see it, but when it comes on streaming, check it out on streaming. I think it's worth talking about.
Yeah, Scandinavian director, and Joe Cole's in it as well. So Good stuff. Well,
It's
we
hard-
like supporting independent films.
It's hard because we all just saw Nosferatu, and going from Nosferatu
Sure.
to this, that's why maybe I'm like a little bit, wouldn't say jaded, but kind of like cautious because it just hired Robert Eggers to this. It's
Rachel Perciot, who is not Toxic's girlfriend, announcement in Billboard, just to make sure that's clear. Needs to see it just for Rory McCann because she's into tall, ugly blokes. Okay, very good. Thank you for that. Gould, got anything you want to recommend or plug?
I mean, the newest thing I've seen is Nosferatu, and I'm sure that's already been recommended a half dozen times.
We haven't talked about that tonight. I haven't seen it.
Oh my God, Lance!
I think it's one of the top
I
3
told you,
movies.
I don't go to the cinema on my own.
I think it's one of the top 3 movies of 2024. I think it's the best vampire movie since Let the Right One In. I very much enjoyed Nosferatu, so I do recommend checking that out. And I recommend, speaking of vampires, I dropped my retrospective review on the original Twilight yesterday. So I do recommend checking that out. It's a fun video. It's a bit lengthy, about 39 minutes, but it's a good 39.
What would you give the original Twilight out of 10?
Oh, it's okay. So let's keeping this in
Justify
context.
it, just give us the rating, and then people can check out your.
Well, no.
review.
I. It's not about justifying the rating. It's clearing up that I rated this, but I actually really like Twilight. As a so bad it's good movie. Like the Twilight absolutely cracks me up, but it's like
Now
a
I've
2 or 3 out of 10.
Now I've got visions of Gord having Robert Pattinson posters all over his bedroom.
It's like a 2. It's like a 2.5 out of 10. It's a terrible movie, but gosh, it's funny. And I also did my
what a 9 out of 10 for you.
8.5 to 9. Yeah,
Right.
it's dang good.
Cool.
I also did my first episode of a new live show I started today. It's called Gord Tier Tuesdays, where rank various things. Sometimes I might focus on a single film. Sometimes I might focus on various films. Today, I compared and ranked the movies of Quentin Tarantino and Christopher Nolan. So that was a good time.
Oh yeah, I wanted to be on that. Funny enough, because basically hands down, Tarantino wins. Sorry, that's my vote for that stream. So there you go. Twilight stuff is a roast. Says Toxic. Is that the link for Gord's?
Yes.
Twilight?
Yeah. Is that okay that I put it in there? Yeah.
No, of course it is. I was
appreciate
going to ask somebody to do it. So thank you. You read my mind as usual. So that is the link for Gord's entertaining Twilight review. Fantastic. Box office brawler. You got anything else you want to mention that you've seen or plug?
Gosh, it's been so dry lately. I'm really not looking forward to January either.
Sorry, just to say, not your love life. We're talking about any films or shows.
Yeah. Well, I might be seeing A Complete Unknown tonight, actually. It's only 7
Good
p.m. there.
movie.
Yeah,
Good
I'm looking
movie.
forward to that. But other than that, I've just been watching old stuff. So
Okay. Well, what old movie have you seen? Because you're a bit of a wee whippersnapper. You're a young'un.
yeah, old to me, I guess, is different
Right. So
sometimes.
what old
Well,
movie have you
I mentioned it.
seen
I mentioned
that
last
you've
time I
gone,
was in the
wow?
stream, Apocalypse Now. I've been absolutely obsessed with that. I've probably seen it 7 times over. I'm working on a new
Which
piece.
version? Which version of
Not Redux. I need to watch Redux.
it? I've got Redux.
Do you think
I've got-
Redux is better?
I've got
I
an
think
unopened Blu-ray box set of Redux. I've seen Redux at the cinema, but I bought it and I just haven't watched it since I bought the box set.
I am
It
of the
must be worth
mind
it
that
then.
similar to the director's cut of Amadeus, the Redux adds fat that the movie didn't need. I think the original cut is the better cut. Although I know a lot of people would disagree with me on the Redux. A lot of people prefer the Redux, but I think that it meanders a bit on certain areas. But
No,
Apocalypse Now is great though. Either way.
I think you've got a valid point on there. There's a couple of bits that make more sense, but yeah, I know what you're saying.
I would argue the same with Apocalypse Now. The Redux just really has a lot of stuff that spells everything out that it did not need to with the original.
Don't they add like his love life or something?
Yeah,
Isn't
we
that
didn't
part of
need
it?
that. We didn't need that. Just keep Martin Sheen as this stoic sort of
Yeah, Northern hates a romance plot in his
Right here.
Except for True Romance. That's the only romance movie worth watching.
Facts.
RRTNZ says for $5. God bless you, Lance. Nothing wrong with going solo at the movies. I do. If my wife doesn't want to see a film that I do, which is often. If you read my book, Silver Screen Journeys, an inside man at this point would say, "Oh, have you got a book out?"
You wrote a book, Lance?
I did. That explains in some detail why. You'll know when you've read the book cover to cover. When you get to the end of the book, you'll understand why I do not go and watch films at the cinema on my own anymore, unless I absolutely have to. Last one was Kevin Costner's Horizon. By the way, I've just seen that there's an additional 2 reviews on here. So, okay, here we go. Anthony Brown. This is a new one I haven't seen before. Lance does well reminding us of why we go to the movies and the impact they have on us as we grow throughout our lives. Stories like these are too important to forget. That's lovely. And this is another one I haven't seen. A great book I came across Lance on Critical Drinkers Open Bar. I love his passion for the art of films, especially war films. I'm roughly the same age as Lance. Okay, so early 30s. Good. Going like that. And I remember
young guy.
Yeah, I remember the films and years that he goes through. Some of the feelings he felt when watching them. I would highly recommend this book to anybody who wants to learn some film gems from the past and how they've changed over the years. That's great. Keith and Doug left me 2 outstanding reviews. I had already seen this one, which is also from a regular from my channel. A truly unique book. Follow one of the film's industry insiders on this emotional roller coaster journey over 100 of the best films of all time. Experience both from the inside and as an aficionado of the cinema. The book manages at the same time to be written from the point of view of an expert in film craft and also a moviegoer who still gets excited at the glamour of the silver screen magic. That's a perfect summation of what the book's about. So thank you so much for leaving those reviews. I can't tell you how vital they are. So when you have read the book, do leave a review, please.
Will do.
Yeah, and and I won't blame you for criticizing the typos if you got the earlier version.
It's a good-looking cover.
Well, yeah, exactly. Indeed. Tox, did you have anything you wanted to recommend?
Just if anyone out there still sleeping on Taylor Sheridan, specifically Landman, the current show that he's got out now, just watch it. Listen, I get it that he's kind of saturated Paramount Plus and stuff, but you know what? They're all bangers. I mean, they're really good. Even the worst of them. I just did a special on him a couple days ago. Northern English Bastard and Stupenzo helped me out, and I rated them 1 through 10. And
mate, if I hadn't have been so ill, I would have been.
No, you're fine. No, I totally understand, man.
I'm going to do a Taylor Sheridan special on the channel soon anyway.
No, so. I get it. It's totally fine. But yeah, if you're sleeping on Landman, it's got some problems in the most recent episodes, but I look forward every single Sunday to them dropping. I stay up late for it to drop at midnight so that I can watch it because I'm really obsessed with this show. It's so good.
Check out Billy Bob Thornton's Fashions.
Toxic, you were not kidding about Yellowstone. I finished Yellowstone mostly because of what you said. Like, you really hated it, and I wanted to just see for myself, and wow, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's fine. We can riff on it sometime.
Hang on, so you're saying, whoa, Bruller, you're saying you watched the show, it's an unbelievable show, or
bad, unbelievable. Like
the final season and they screwed it up.
They really screwed up the last 6 episodes.
Yeah.
We've never seen anything like that from the series, and just went really far off the cliff, unfortunately.
Game of Thrones style, Lance.
Well, there's I've had a guest on who knows the whole inside story of why that happened.
Okay.
And they have promised to tell me, but off air. So. But Rachel, I'm not Toxic's girlfriend, Percy Art.
Oh, jeez.
Could you change your profile name to that as well, please, if you can?
You're gonna make her unsub to me, Lance. Come on, man.
You cannot go wrong with Taylor Sheridan.
I have less than 100 subscribers, and you're embarrassing this one. Come on, man.
We love you, nice. Rachel. So Landman, I loved it. I've got Toxic to thank for tuning me into it, and I'm a big fan of Billy Bob Thornton. I like John Hamm. As we said before, Demi Moore's in it. I really like this actress, Ali Larter.
Ali Larter.
He has not changed a bit, though. Bloody hell.
She looks good for age, at least in this picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. How long did her and you date again? back in the day.
Well, she wasn't my final destination.
Oh,
Oh God.
did she give you a case of the Varsity Blues?
Who's greater, Taylor Sheridan or Glenn A. Larson? I mean,
Sheridan.
I mostly associate Glenn A. Larson with Battlestar Galactica, which is a good but not brilliant show. It was a good, fun 80s pop sci-fi show that's not aged terribly well. That could have been better, even in the time it was made. So I like it, but it is what it is. But I do have, mate. I've got Battlestar Galactica on Blu-ray. So okay. Northern, anything you wanted to recommend?
Well, apart from Landman, I think Toxic has already mentioned how good that is, and I will say one, M by Fritz Lang, 1931, about a serial killer, which is which must have really been groundbreaking at the time, because this is probably one of the earliest films to talk about a serial killer and how they operate, and it's mostly it doesn't just focus on the killings; it focuses on how the people who lived in the neighborhood of the little girl that was taken and killed is affected, and how they almost become almost as psychotic as he wants to find out who the guy is. And it is very intense. It is very creepy. It is unnerving and incredibly disturbing without being.
Sorry, can you give us the title? Give us the title again.
M. Just M. Letter M.
The letter M.
Where's that streaming at?
It's on YouTube for free.
Oh, okay.
It's on YouTube for free.
Yeah, it's German by Fritz Lang, and I was recommended to it by Emperor J. Goodwin on the Falling Down stream a while back, and he's like, you got to watch it. This is how they portray a serial killer and then everything. And when you do see the serial killer and he explains himself, it is really fucking disturbing to listen to. I was he really does send that tingle down your spine. It's really well done, even for its time. It's nearly 100 years old as well.
Yeah, I've got a link for it. So it's available for free. It's copyright. I mean, this would be copyright free. We could even do a live stream of it with us all watching it and playing the sound to it, probably. But it's presented by Groovy Graveyard Movie and Music Memorabilia. So I'll give them a shout out. There we are. So they've loaded it up on their channel. Yeah, Fritz Lang, incredible director. I mean, what's really nice about watching one of his films is you can see how differently black and white was lit. It's not lit the same way as color, and they do a lot to bring out the different shades and give like shots depth and things like that. It's always really interesting.
Yeah, like you see an empty plate full of food, but no one's eating from it. The little girl is gone. She's never.
I feel like I've seen this in my youth, because it's a lot of the images just feel very familiar to me, and I have watched a lot of Fritz Lang. But thank you for the recommendation. This is a great one.
Mm.
So, who says our channel's not full of intellectuals? Some of them even come from up north.
I see. We have our moments.
I swear to you, Northern, right? This is the staircase from my old swimming pool in Kingston. Is that exact same Art Deco with the tiles that go halfway up the wall,
Mm.
And these railings, exactly the same as the staircase at my old swimming bars in Kingston, which has long been knocked down.
That's basically the staircase of every dealer I've had to. I'm not going to finish that now. I'm not going to finish.
Go on to Northern Bastard's channel to pick up the rest of that story.
Yeah, it's candy. It's candy.
He'll be talking woman with a needle.
All right. Well, we're gonna guys, we're gonna wrap it up there. We've had a great number of people in the chat. I've had quite a few new guests, so I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I have been a bit poorly. Otherwise, I would have done a few more streams over the new year. But I've got this lurgy that's going around, and everybody is sick with it in the UK. it's hospitalized quite a few friends of mine, myself included, for one day. So this is one of the worst kind of, whatever you want to call it, chest infection strains in our history. Hospitals right now in the UK are brimming with cases, of people having to be put on ventilators and stuff. It's not COVID, but it's pretty close. So I just want to give a shout out to all those people working on the front line of the NHS, because I dare say you're tired, overworked and underpaid as per normal. And I certainly hope you're in the next budget. I certainly hope your wages go up. Fab, I just want to thank my guests, truck driver / bus driver, blue collar loser, Gord King, who may or may not be a famous actor, Northern English bastard, who definitely is a famous pisshead, Lord of Toxicity, and our special new guest, box office brawler, who's now, we've realised he's so better looking than the rest of us. I think we better make him a regular.
What?
Everybody's cameras need to be on. I want to see all your beautiful faces.
We need the energy of youth.
Yeah, there we
need
go.
The energy of youth.
That's what I'm talking about right there, Toxic.
Yeah. So,
I'm all in.
Anyway, listen, thanks for coming on, all you guys. You make it special. It's always fun. And I knew I wouldn't be able to get through this tonight without you. So, because I am feeling pretty crap. Join us tomorrow. I'm going to be on, I think, at 7 with the Vicky Lee interview, which should be a lot of fun. And do check out Lockerbie: A Search for the Truth drama. It's on Sky. You can also watch it on Now TV. And if you can't find it there, I'm sure you'll find it somewhere else. Very, very worth your time. We will be back with the Nielsen ratings again next Tuesday at 10 o'clock. This Sunday coming up, we've got the first of The Shield Season 2, Episodes 1 and 2. Toxic's going to be on that with me. Inside Man's computer has exploded.
Yikes.
So, he may or may not be on it. We'll see what happens. But until then...
Gem today.